villainize me is bullshit. That's black shit. Just trying to have something to bitch about.
Gotcha. We got you. We got your dumb ass. We got your dumb ass. What the fuck are you talking about? Apparently, Godfrey snaps after being accused of selling out. Godfrey is on a podcast with Akbar, and it's called 154. Now, I have feelings about the podcast. I like it for the most part. The only issue I have with the podcast is when they start bringing up foundational Black Americans, or they have other African guests that, talk sideways about foundational Black Americans. But before we get into the video, do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit that sub button. And if you like the content, leave a like. Like I said, shout out in my other video, shout out to all the new subscribers. And if you subscribe, I'll give you a shout out in the next video. Without any further ado, let's get into the video.
Slavery in there.
Facts.
And then you start to put a little bit of subservience in it. This is what starts to happen to the Nigerian accent.
Man.
First of all three of y'all speaking English.
Everybody involved is speaking English. And let's talk about who English sounds the most English, while you want to talk about colonization.
Come on. Second of all, skin bleaching is #1 in Nigeria. It's a $1 billion industry. Skin bleaching, that means taking your beautiful melanated skin to an alabaster that is also causing disease. Number three, you may be Igbo and you know your name and all of that, but you're acting as if you weren't subservient and still are to the queen, to the crown. And again, he was sitting there with somebody who has called me out of my name, has lied, has misrepresented everything, and you know me. And I'm never going to respond tit for tat with it, because I'm like, yeah, you know why you're not where you are, and you know why you're not where you think you're supposed to be. But you don't have the character or the maturity as a 50-something-year-old man to actually be accountable for the things that you do and have enough grace to be like, I'm sorry that I did that. Because one thing I was always saying, don't put me in a situation where I can't save you. I said that dozens of times, and I got witnesses. But the point is that person was sitting there co-signing this. When your whole platform has been about, coming for people, coming for Black people, whether they're Indian or whatever.
That's all I'm saying.
Now you know it's stick. Now you know it's stick. It is a performance, because you know that the pain point in this country, especially as it relates to Blacks, is this kind of denigration of us.
What's your side of the story with Karen Hunter? Not to overtake your show, but I am curious.
I'll take my side of Wait.
How do you feel about Karen Hunter is what she's asking, I think.
I got fired by her. What's the big...
She fired him.
She fired me. So what?
I know, but she says that you were like, listen, I've watched you evolve.
No,
so
tell me what she
sure,
said. Get to it.
She said you were extremely disrespectful to her. And
How?
She said you...
Why is he being rude? She's trying to explain it to you. How? Damn, Godfrey. Relax, brother. She ain't do nothing to you.
You're a bitch.
I called her a bitch after she talked shit about me. You understand?
Okay.
So get the whole story, okay? Because I moved the fuck off.
How the fuck is she supposed to get... She talking to you. She's trying to get the whole story. That's why she asking you the question. Why are you pointing your anger towards her? I think you got a lot of built up anger. I don't know where it's from, where it comes from. I don't know. But damn, Godfrey, relax, brother.
Well, I'm not trying to be mad at you, but I've moved on. I never mentioned Karen.
Okay.
So people were telling me, they were coming at me, people were sending me messages going, Karen is dogging you on her show. And I was like, well, she fired me. Why? And I didn't even answer. I just kept it moving about my business. And she was insulting me because I know people that are loyal that was telling me, yeah, Karen's saying this about you. I was like, wow, that sucks. And then I was like, hey, Karen, keep my name out your mouth. You fired me. I moved on.
Godfrey finally addressed the Karen Hunter situation, the FBA backlash, and the David Oyelowo controversy on In Godfrey We Trust. And you can tell he is annoyed. This whole thing started with David Oyelowo's appearance on the 154 podcast. During the interview, Oyelowo was talking about accents and made a comment about the Black Southern accent that many people found disrespectful. That meant there is no need to overcomplicate it. Black Southern speech is not some broken down version of an African accent. It is not a symbol of weakness. It is not subservient. It comes from history, survival, migration, and pain. So when Oyolowo said what he said, people were right to be offended. The problem for Godfrey is that he was sitting there when it happened. A lot of people,
and that's the price. A lot of like Godfrey plays like both sides of the fence. He speaks up. Even his Instagram. He speaks about the atrocities that happen to Black Americans, FBAs, right? As if he's a part of it, right? Because he is a Black man in America, nonetheless, regardless if he's African. Especially he was born here, right? I believe, he was born here, or he was brought here early on, or whatever. But he's an American, right? Raised in America, so he grew up in it. You know what I mean? For the most part, he grew up in a traditional African household. That's where it separates for him. But going outside, growing up, he gets to engulf in some of the culture or whatever. But the problem I have with him is that he tethers, especially when the guests come on. If you're not going to have any African Americans on your show, Godfrey, and you speak all highly of African Americans, how you love us and all this other stuff, when these talking points, because it's not like he's not smart about history and things like that, like he doesn't know, like he's one of those Africans that does, he knows. So when people like him come on the show and you give him no pushback at all, and you just take it for what it is, it's like, God, you're not gonna say nothing, Godfrey, because we're looking at you like, because of the message you promote. So when it's like you're not gonna give any pushback, even if you don't know the root of where something comes from, you can at least say, I don't know if that's true or not, or you're not giving no pushback. You're just listening as if it's the gospel. And I think that's where some people are upset with Godfrey.
Godfrey should have checked him in the moment. They expected him to stop the conversation and say, nah, you cannot describe Black Southern people like that.
And by the way, David Oyelowo has apologized, but British Black people do not have a perspective of America.
So if you know that, we're going to stop you right there. Godfrey, I was just saying that. If you are able to say this on your podcast now, and you know that, why do you not give these people the pushback that they deserve? They come sit down on your couch and have a perspective. That's like if I come into your house and give a perspective of how your house, and and say, oh, why do you live like this? And da, 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 you need to do this, do it. It's like, how dare you? Right? How dare you? You come from a fucking across the pond and then talk about Black Americans as if you know what the fuck just because you acted in some fucking roles, you know what the fuck the struggle of the Black American is? Clearly you do not. And that is the problem. We don't come over there to fucking Britain or wherever, the UK, and say, hey, you guys, when the Windrush happened, da 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 da, and they treated you like this and this, and why you guys need to. We don't do that shit. We mind our fucking business, right? We understand that every Black person around the world has their own journey and own story to tell, right? But when it comes to foundational Black Americans, y'all get to critique us as if we started critiquing y'all some weird shit like that. It's fucking weird. Why do y'all? We understand we are very impactful. We get that, but we don't boast and brag about it. We only started doing that now because y'all started coming for us. Y'all started making these, like having these little clips and talking about Black Americans, and we like, where did this come? Why are y'all doing this? So when y'all get the hate on the internet and y'all go, oh, y'all hateful, it's like, do y'all not realize where it started from? Black people were minding their business. Black people worry about what's going on with Black people. We don't just start talking about other people out of nowhere, because that's fucking weird. So when Black people actually start talking back, it's a problem. It's really weird. You can't sit there and say, oh, they don't have a perspective, but then at the same time not give any pushback. If you know that, say something, Godfrey. Tell them don't do that. Let's not do that. We can have a conversation, but let's not say that, undermine Black Americans. And then you can give them a history. Did you know this? Did you know that? Da, da, da. Give them the perspective, since you're not going to have any foundational Black Americans on, right? I think you had that one dude, but it didn't really do anything. I think y'all need to start taking down points. Have a foundational Black American on if y'all really want to have the real conversation. Have talking points and then discuss those talking points so that we can move on, and y'all can talk about Africa all day. Y'all don't have to bring up FBAs after that. But I think y'all need to make an episode where y'all just talk about it and have a foundational Black American, right? Not a scholar. I don't think it can be a scholar, but not someone that's going to be politically correct, right? Somebody that knows what they're talking about and is going to stop you on your bullshit or inform you on something if you do not know something, so that we can move on. and motherfuckers can enjoy the podcast. I don't care if the podcast is only about Africa and y'all explore all of Africa. Great. Y'all need it, honestly. A lot of people don't know about Africa. But you can't keep having episodes when other Africans or people from Britain come over and start talking about African foundational Black Americans. It's weird.
I don't even get it. But the fact is that these mistakes need to happen so we can talk about it. So we can have people going, damn, I fucked up. I think David probably didn't mean it that way, but the British Black experience is so different than the Black American experience. He probably was like, no, it's a little subservient. They don't know any better. A lot of them just don't know any better.
No,
and I think it's good that people can listen.
It
hold up.
definitely sounded like some white people shit. I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
It was whack. But I said I'm sorry, but it definitely sounded like some white people shit. But I get it.
But what I'm saying is, that's what. Where do you think they're calling?
She was spot on. Spot on. Because why did David, whatever his last name is, have the gall to just like come there and be little Black Americans? When you come to America and play Black American roles, like that's the weirdest shit. Subservient. What, nigga? Are you dumb? The accent you got, like, explain that. Like that's literally stupidity. We grew up in America, so regionally, wherever you are, I grew up in the North. I don't have a Southern accent. My family comes from the South, though. My mom and my pops, they both come from some form of the South. So it's like, it depends on where you are regionally. And then also, you come, like I said, from the United Kingdom. You have a fucking accent. Your shit isn't African. You can switch between it. Are you if your accent's subservient?
No, it's colonial mentality. That's white people shit. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think people were responding because we appreciate the fact that, although your heritage is Nigerian, listen, I've been through all the arguments with ex-boyfriend, Nigerian, the whole nine. So I understand.
Yeah, but I grew up in Chicago.
We were a little surprised by your reaction.
I don't give a fuck what y'all were thinking because I didn't make him say that.
I didn't say it.
I didn't make him say that. So fuck all of that because
This is the same problem with Kevin Hart. What are you talking about? You didn't make him say that. We know you didn't make him say that, Godfrey. If you was listening and you wasn't being angry about, I don't know what the fuck you're angry about, but if you take time to listen, it seems like you have a problem listening. You want to talk. You want to get your point across. Listen. Understand what she's saying. Understand where the frustration is coming from. Then you can rebuttal. But you're just talking to talk. For you to be so educated, you lack it seems like you lack a little bit of awareness. I'm not gonna say common sense, but awareness, especially when communicating. Relax, brother. Listen to the point she's trying to make, or gather the information she's trying to make, and then say what you're gonna say. You just saying fuck. I don't give a fuck. Fuck y'all. It's basically like what we're telling you how we feel, and you just say I don't give a fuck. That I don't know how that's gonna work out for you. Keep up with that mentality, brother. She clearly tried to tell you like. People were upset that the fact that you didn't respond or give any pushback because you, like I said, your Instagram, you're giving all type of pushbacks. Maybe you need time to process it. Like you condemn him and say like, yeah, he didn't know and stuff like that. But it's like in the moment, you could have saved him or you could have had like, understanding, but you don't do that. You never do that. And then you wait till afterwards when you get backlash and then you kind of brush off like, oh, whatever. The disrespect is like at an all-time high, especially on the podcast. That's why I fuck with it, but I don't at the same time because of that type of that mindset. It's like you want to have a conversation, but Black Americans keep getting slapped in the face, little slaps in the face here and there. It's like what the fuck is that about? You can't have a conversation and trying to unite us when disrespect keeps getting involved. It's not gonna work if you don't, because you are clearly the mediator in this situation, right? If you don't put a stop to it or some type of, mediation is happening, you just letting it fly and then deal with the consequences afterwards or say whatever afterwards. Like, oh, that person apologized. He said it. Put the blame on it's your platform. You can't reap the benefits of foundational Black Americans because you grew up here and then just let disrespect slide. And then we're supposed to be all right with it. We're supposed to get over it. What if we start disrespecting Nigerians or Africa? You would have a problem with that.
all sit there and try to pick at the smallest shit, waiting for us to fuck up.
See what I'm saying? He's coming from a place of anger for no reason. Why are you angry? Because you think we are picking at small shit? That's not small, dumbass. That's not small. And I have to call you dumbass. Why what? Let's flip it. Like I said, if we were doing that to Nigeria, I believe that's where you're from. If we were saying little disrespectful things about Nigerians, would you say we are would you say, if I said, yo, you're just picking at little things that I said, if I was disrespectful to you, how would you feel about that? It's not little things. People are coming on your platforms, on your platform, saying, spewing shit. They're being misinformed about shit that they're spewing because they have a thought process of Black Americans, foundation of Black Americans when they come here. So they spew it and you don't correct them. And then when we say, why the fuck didn't you check them? This motherfucker, why he's wrong, he's stupid. And we, people get outraged. You say, oh, you're nitpicking. You're delusional if you think that's what it is.
All that, me and Akbar grew up in Crenshaw. All right. I grew up in Chicago, some of the blackest cities around. Chicago's the most segregated city in this country. So I know what Black Americans are like because I was stopped by cops, harassed by cops, called nigga, the whole nine. Okay, so I'm a little bit different, but that show, what our show is, it's just 9-10 months. We're doing really well. It's needed. Nothing's gonna be perfect. So when someone goes, I didn't like your reaction, you're not my fucking parent, first off. And I'm the first.
I think people are wording it wrong. I don't like your reaction. That's a little weird. People can't tell someone how to react. I would say, I don't like the fact that you didn't respond to his stupidity. You just let it fly. And now you're making excuses after the fact. I think that is the bigger problem. It's like these people come on here and say certain things like Black Americans are this, Black Americans are that, Black Americans are this, or they just privileged or whatever. They just complain. It's like you don't give them no pushback. It's almost like you agree with it. So I think that's what people meant by your reaction. And then even in your tone and the way it's dismissive. It's really dismissive. If you keep this shit up, motherfuckers will not fuck with you. If you keep up this attitude. When motherfuckers is telling you something, yo, like, we fuck with you, but just get, like, when niggas get on your podcast and start talking about fire, you need to check them. Hey, brother, let's not do that. Let's not talk about how Black Americans are, because if it wasn't for Black Americans, ... Motherfuckers should be thankful. Bottom line, don't come on our podcast and talk bad about them. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be in this fucking country doing the things that we could do now. They are the backbone, period. And leave it at that. But instead, you want to be angry towards everybody that is pointing out the flaws in your show. Just like you said, your show is not perfect. You can't be mad at people that have a legitimate reason to be upset. That is stupid. Like, you have to step back from yourself and be like, damn, people are really upset. Like, at this shit, and it's a sensitive topic, so they have the right to be upset. Like, people are watching because they fuck with you. Like, most people didn't know who the fuck Akbar was. People were watching because they fuck with you. I started watching because I fuck with you until things started getting funny. So I don't watch it as much. But sometimes I catch, depending on who's on, I catch it, watch the clips and all that. But yeah, Godfrey, you're bugging.
If I fuck up, I'll go, man, my bad. But David said it. So to villainize me is bullshit. That's black shit. Just trying to have something to bitch about.
Gotcha. We got you. We got your dumb ass. We got your dumb ass. What the fuck are you talking about? Godfrey, this is what I'm talking about. Oh, gosh. I don't know why you said that, bro. I don't know why you said that. Black people, that's something to bitch about. When have black people ever bitched about something? Godfrey, look me in, for real. When have black people ever bitched about something that wasn't warranted to bitch about something? Or quote unquote complain about something? When have black people ever done that? Give me something. I don't give a fuck what it is. People in the comments, leave something if you're not black. What have black people bitched about? Right? That wasn't called for. That wasn't reasonable. oppression, all that other stuff, like that's not reasonable. Disrespect, that's not a reason to complain about something. Like, hey, like you disrespecting us, like that's not a reason. Godfrey, what the fuck are you talking about? You sound like, I know you're not dumb, but right now you sound like maybe it's the anger because you feel like people are coming for you or whatever. I don't know what it is, but that you need to step outside yourself and check yourself. You're bugging. What do you be nitpicking bitch about? Like, yo, this nigga's crazy, bro. And this is what motherfucker, this is why the term tether was invented. Because even though you was born and raised there, a black American would never fix their mouth to say no dumb shit like that. A real, like, because you have some sellouts. We're not talking about the sellouts. Because when it's convenient for you, you switch back out to your Nigerian side. And then you could point at, look, you black Americans, right? You see how he didn't put himself in that? Because he's different from us, even though he just brought up the fact that he was born and raised here. But then he can separate himself. And that's where tether comes from.
See, what we're doing is we're trying to work out our kinks. People are traumatized. Black Americans are traumatized. Caribbeans are traumatized. Africans are traumatized. Everybody's traumatized. Black women are traumatized. Black men are traumatized. So this is all coming from trauma. And this should be a therapeutic podcast.
Godfrey wants black unity. I understand.
It is trauma from all places. Different types of trauma. But you can't, like I said, you can't be disrespectful and act and then expect black Americans to sit down and just still have a open dialogue with your dumb ass. You just disrespected black Americans. I've never heard you disrespect black, but you in your rant, you just disrespected black Americans. So I could put you into that boat with everybody else that has done it. And this is the problem. You can't expect unity and be disrespectful, right? That's like backhanded compliments. Who wants a fucking backhanded compliment? Nobody. It's like you complimenting me, but you're dissing me at the same time. And you expect me to be nice to you because it's rooted in something. When you usually do things like that, it's rooted in something. So you want to be disrespectful, shooting little shots, and then say, hey, let's have a discussion and let's unpack our trauma and let's unite. You just said my people are bitching. When you don't actually, you're not tied to the struggle of my people. You might understand it a little bit, but I'm pretty sure there's still things you're learning about Black American history. And I don't want to hear that shit. I grew up in America. I'm older than you. I've been here longer than you've been born, or whatever, the goofy shit. So I'm 36, be 37 next month. And you're 50. So you've been here a couple more years than me. You don't give a fuck. I have ties to this fucking land by blood. So that trauma has literally, by DNA, been passed down to me. The way I grew up, even though we grew up in the same system, my shit is way different than yours. My upbringing, my household upbringing. When I go outside, my environment is way different than yours. You was sheltered for the most part. I'm pretty sure your father wasn't letting you hang out on the blocks of Chicago. Your ass needed to be in the house. So you grew up there, but you didn't grow up there.
That Black people attacking each other all day does not solve anything. But unity cannot mean ignoring disrespect. If someone says something careless about Black Americans from the South, people are allowed.
And this is a British brother. Shout out to him. If he can get it, why the fuck can't you get it, Godfrey?
Call it out. At the same time, every mistake does not have to become permanent exile. Oyolo apologized. Godfrey says he spoke to him privately. That should matter too. The bigger question is whether people involved actually learned anything from it. Because this is where Godfrey has to be careful.
We don't care if they spoke about it in private because it happened in a public platform. Stop allowing it to happen publicly. We don't know what the fuck was talked about, and he publicly apologized. I don't know how. Did he make a video and publicly apologize, or did he write some statement because he wanted to save his ass for his fucking career? That's probably why he did it. Let me just continue.
Funny, smart, and usually good at breaking down cultural issues. But when people feel disrespected, they do not want to hear defensiveness first. They want to hear that the insult was understood. That is what this whole backlash is really about. Godfrey is defending his blackness. Karen Hunter is defending her critique. David Oyolowo is trying to clean up a bad comment. And Black Americans from the South are tired of people treating their speech like a joke, a defect, or a performance choice.
We got to talk about these things, but to just go, I'm disappointed. None of you motherfuckers are my parent. None of you. Nobody's perfect talking shit to me.
What does motherfuckers being your parent have to do with anything? Why he keeps bringing that up? It's weird. No one's telling you, like, we're just saying, Godfrey, why didn't you? What's up? Like, we look at you as a certain way. So why you keep bringing up this parent shit? Like, motherfuckers is forcing you to do something. This is really weird. It's starting to show, like, your character a little bit. And it's fucking weird. You know, you have an audience. And if they don't like something, they can critique you. We live in a new day and age, right? When sitcoms or shows go on, people had to literally write letters into the station so that they can hear the critiques. Right now, you get it as soon as you upload and people watch it. So if they have a problem, they have a problem. And it's either up to you to fix it or not. But if you don't, you remember, your audience can stop watching. A lot of podcasts have failed because of that. Brandon Marshall, he was a part of the Pivot before the Pivot was the Pivot. I forgot what they used to call the show. That's how crazy it was. The show was really popular. It was everybody from the Pivot except for the host. And it was Brandon Marshall. And they had a podcast and it was really good. But money got involved. He was on a power trip. They said, all right, we're going to start our own thing. They started a podcast, The Pivot, and it's doing great. The other podcast that he still continued, I think he still does it, or he changed it up. I don't even remember the name of it. That's people can forget and move the fuck on to the next thing because they might not like something or they like something better. So your audience is very important. So when you start talking like that and like, oh, this, that, and third, motherfuckers are like, all right, we off this. We not fucking with you no more. And your podcast might still do good, but you still have a career. You still have a career outside of your podcast. So people have to like you. You're in the entertainment business. If people don't like you,
you do a podcast and do better then. But my thing is, I'm doing this for the good of all of us to bridge a gap and all this. Oh, you're a tether. You're a this. You can eat a dick. I'm just not talking to you, miss. I'm just saying in the general. But
Okay,
you can
like,
eat
now
a dick
listen,
for real. I'm a tether. I'm a this. All these terms for a bunch of traumatized black.
It's a term that fits though. You can't be upset at the term when you have talking points like that. You are a tether. You keep tethering on to foundational Black American culture. You say things like, I grew up here. I da 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 da. Just because you grew up somewhere doesn't mean you're a part of it. Like I said, you were raised in an African household. You might have been in a proximity of it, but you don't come from that cloth. It just is what it is. And when you have certain talking points like the way you're displaying right now, that is a prime example of being called that. Now, there's nothing wrong. It's not like, it's just a way to, identify someone. Like you are untethered because you're tethering on to something, right? That's literally the definition of tethering. You're attaching yourself to something.
It's like, first of all, I'm a very well-read man when it comes to Black life. Very well-read. I've done mounds of going to see the minister, a Savior's Day, all kinds of shit. I met Stokely Carmichael.
Brother.
I met Francis Cress Welsing.
Congratulations, Godfrey. Congratulations. You love to study and learn. No one's denying that, right? But just because you met a bunch of people don't mean shit. What the fuck does that mean? It's great that you learned all this stuff, right? But it's nice that you've done the research but what does that have to do with anything right now?
I met all these people. Did you? I can question a lot of people on that.
See what I'm saying? What does that have to do with anything? Because you met some people. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? I met the Minister Farrakhan. So the fuck what? Shout out to the Minister Farrakhan. But what does that do? What are you talking about, Godfrey? So if I met Mandela, what the fuck? So did it change anything, motherfucker? It didn't change nothing, right? It didn't help nobody because you met him. What the fuck are you talking about? And they said, did you? No, I didn't. Now what? The fuck are you talking about, Godfrey? You pissing me off, low-key. It's because you're angry, you're just saying shit. And you're trying to prove your blackness. But meeting people and studying books doesn't make you black.
I was in college at the same time. Let me just say real quick.
You know what I mean? If we're gonna do a measure on blackness, I'll probably stomp most of you. It's not sensitive.
It is sensitive, Godfrey. And this is what I mean. He brought up all his talking points to prove how black he is. Just because you know and you've met people doesn't make you more black. It doesn't. And like I said, when we say black, we're not talking about skin, technically skin color. It's more of a ethnicity type of thing. You know what I mean? Because like I said, black was a term invented in America to describe people in America, people of color in America. So when I'm saying this, it's like you are trying to prove how black you are because you have basically went to black people boot camp or some shit like that, or black people school. So it's like, I'll prove how black I am by telling you all the knowledge I have. That doesn't prove how black you are. Your lineage proves how black you are. What you represent proves how black you are, right? The things that come out your mouth proves how black you are. Like your heritage, it just proves how black you are. And if we want to be technical, you are not the term black. You are not that. Like you are black by color, of course, but then you are not black by the American standard. Just like how in South Africa, the term colored means something totally different than what it does here. Being called color is very disrespectful, but in South Africa, that's what they go by. You know what I mean? So when we say black, you are technically not that. So you could do all the studying and improving all you want. It don't mean shit. Are you like a Martin Luther King? Are you like a Malcolm X? Like, what have you done to push have you been to any protests? Have you done it? Have you actually put in work? I'm not talking about meeting people and studying. Because you're just knowledge. Like, I could talk about this, I could talk about that. That's cool. It's great that you are knowledgeable. But what have you done for the black community? You grew up here, right? You were born in it. So what have you done since you love it so much? I'm talking too much, but this shit really pissing me off how he handling this.
It ain't sensitivity. Don't fucking ever say that to me. It's not sensitivity. It's passion because I'm on point. I'm not here to make you like, don't try to play good guy. Like, you're getting sensitive. No, this is passionate shit.
So it's okay for you to get sensitive, but black people are nitpicking. Don't ever call me sensitive. You are being sensitive. Because she started off being nice and you the whole conversation, you have been angry. And then when she gives you like, yo, you're being sensitive right now because you're being very angry and it's uncalled for. You coming at her like she did something to you. And I'm sorry for keep pausing it. It's just every time he open his mouth, he says some crazy shit or something uncalled for. This nigga might have anger problems. I don't know. What's going on with him? Like, he can't take no critique. And it's not even heavy critique. It's just like, yo, you portray to be this way, but you don't back it up when it comes to your podcast. You're very talkative. And you also like to cut people off a little bit. Like, you have that problem too. And so when she's trying to tell you something, it's like, no, fuck that. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this. Eat a dick.
Looking off, Godfrey, I wasn't.
What'd you say?
Like that. I'm telling you, you've always represented that.
Always, but then you get one little thing and you guys, as much as I speak up for black women, what do you think that does to me in this business when I'm speaking up for you guys? I speak up for you motherfuckers all the time. Most celebrities in Hollywood don't say a goddamn thing about y'all. And I'm always opening my mouth for you guys. I try my best. But I do one thing, you guys just go off. I get it.
It's not one thing. It's a consistent thing with you. I think he's overlooking this shit. This is why you should read your comments. At least skim through them. Cause like, I don't know if I don't know if people tell him or whatever, but black people in the comments have been coming at the show in general for a little minute now. I've been one of them. So he's talking like as if this is like the first time and like black people are making it like bigger than what it is. It's weird. Like, I don't understand why he has this mindset like, oh, I did one thing and y'all guys are making me the villain. Like, all people are saying is, why haven't you spoken up when disrespect was presented? And you're being sensitive. You're being a crybaby right now. Why are you picking on me? I always did it for you guys.
Godfrey also spends a good part of the episode talking about Karen Hunter and why he has an issue with her. This part is important because it gives context to why he reacted so strongly.
You have to understand, you guys are probably still listening to Karen. All of us moved on. I wasn't talking about her. I didn't do none of that. And her whole thing about black unity, she's full of shit. She is full of shit.
She does her thing in the context of her thing.
Listen, but
when
she's
you talk
full
about,
of shit.
But interpersonally, there's a reason why she has a problem with everybody else.
Well, she tricked me, and how I got fired was some bullshit because I personally think my show was doing really well. It was and I know on the inside, motherfuckers was like, you was doing really well. They had to find something to get you on. And I knew on some inside shit, which I ain't gonna mention that person. And I was like, cool, because I was kicking ass. Because the week before she fired me, I went to an advertising meeting at Madison Square Garden. It was all the people that were going to sponsor me. And they said, well, what's your show about? I came in that room and it was awesome. I had them rolling, laughing, and then she fires me the next week. It was just weird. The chronology of what happened, I was like, wow. And so I remember getting off the train, coming from D.C., because I went to D.C. to cross-promote with Joe Madison, rest in peace, Joe Madison. Woke up early in the morning on my own to meet Joe Madison. Then I did Laura Coates' shit, and that's when the Laura Coates thing happened, where they kicked me off. But either way, I've said anything crazy. I said exactly what I imitate people, and I got fired. And I was like, that was just real shady. But then I said, you know what? All right. And I just moved on, and I started doing Lord Jamar's thing with Raw Digger and doing my In Godfrey We Trust. I said, let me just go do that.
Godfrey's view is simple. Karen Hunter is using his name for attention. He also seems to believe she has a pattern of falling out with people she works with. That part of the podcast felt personal. You can tell Godfrey still feels wronged by what happened at Sirius. This is not only about David Oyelowo or FBA. Karen Hunter seems to represent something deeper for him. He feels like she damaged his career, talked down on him, and is now trying to act morally superior during this controversy.
And that's how the Steve Harvey stuff went viral. I was like, that was a blessing that she fired me. Because first of all, I don't like that corporate shit anyway. That's why I was very hesitant because a lot of comedians were being fired from SiriusXM anyway. So I was like, I was tired of that.
There's also a situation where there was this perception of radio is better than podcasting.
Yeah.
So anytime you called the show podcasting, she would get mad at this ain't podcasting, this radio, which ultimately now she has a podcast.
Now she has a podcast jumping off on my
There's a situation where
David Oyelowo's comment was wrong. Black Americans had a valid reason to be offended. Godfrey may have genuinely missed it in the moment. Godfrey also could have handled that aftermath more directly. Karen Hunter may have her own history with Godfrey, and the FBA conversation, even when it gets harsh, is coming from a real frustration about Black American erasure. That is why this topic is so heated. It's not only about one bad accent joke. It's about who gets to speak on Black American culture.
Bravo, brother. I couldn't have said it any better. Who gets to speak on Black American culture? Everybody from the outside gets to critique it and say anything they want. And then when we say something, we're bitching. No, Godfrey, you were bitching. You were bitching. You were being sensitive. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you. And I'm still offended. I think you're funny as shit. You need to drop a special, motherfucker. But you were bitching, sir.
Profits from Black American stories, who gets protected and who is expected to stay quiet.
Anyway, that's going to be it for the video. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Godfrey's response to the whole situation. I'm happy he responded. I'm just not happy in the way he responded, right? And I'm not trying to be a parent, Godfrey. I'm just saying I don't like the way you responded in this situation. Very nasty. And I understand sometimes you could be emotional and whatever. So it's not be or end all. But it is something you need to check, because you can't be for a group of people, but then tell the same group of people, I don't give a fuck how you feel. Fuck that. That's disrespectful in itself. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the whole situation. I had to make this video because I seen it and I was like, oh, I gotta hear what he talking about. I don't think he's ever responded to too much backlash like that. So I had to watch it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the whole situation in the comment section below. Yeah, that's it for me in this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.